So I often see a lot of advertisements where they say the business can completely automate. So is it actually real?
When business owners, when they start setting up systems, they are in a world of chaos. They are going through a very difficult time just running with their business on a day-to-day basis. Now, in that mindset, there are these advertisements where people say that they'll completely automate the business, completely make the business run on autopilot. But let's be honest, this is a fiction. And the business owner is plays a very, very important part in running the business. And saying that uh, that the business can completely run without the business owner, it's completely automated. Yes, it is partially, it can happen. For example, the business owner should be able to take a 1 month holiday or a 3 month holiday from the business without sacrificing on the growth and the day-to-day working. But the business owner is the person who defines the strategy of the business. So you can automate the day-to-day activities and the day-to-day operations and running of the business, but the business owner is the person who will define how the business will grow, what are the new strategies that will be implemented, and that has to be done only by the business owner. So in that way, these it is not possible to automate the strategic thinking and to put the strategic thinking on the autopilot. It is the responsibility of the business owner. And so I hope that if you see these advertisements, read them as, yes, you can automate and you can put the day-to-day operations, you can, as a business owner, you can get out of the day-to-day operations, but it is your responsibility. As a business owner, it is your responsibility. The business is your child, it is your baby, and it is your responsibility for the to grow the business, and you are responsible for the strategy and the long term success of the business. So don't take these advertisements to mean that you can escape that.
Great to know. It's like a light bulb moment for me also, because I have always thought that there are some businesses that can go on autopilot and then people can generate money out of it. So if I ask you simple thing, like I have heard this terminology called business workflow. Can you just let us know that what exactly it is?
Sure. So a business workflow is essentially a sequence of things, a sequence of steps to do to achieve a certain result in the business. So, for example, let's say in sales, I'm talking to a lead, and my objective is to close the deal. So, the steps might be something like I call the customer, and then there might be a script. Based on the script, I'm using the script to guide my call. Then after the call, I send a maybe I send a follow up email with a summary of the call. Then I invite the customer to a meeting. If the customer doesn't respond, I follow up again. And so all these are the steps. So this is what the steps are. The objective of a good business workflow is to have these steps documented so they can be done in a consistent way and a repeatable way by anybody with the required amount of skill and knowledge in the team.
What I understood from this business workflow terminology is like earlier people used use is, or maybe currently they are also using Google Sheets, Excel sheets. So how I mean it is different from business workflow, and what are the problems basically Google Sheet or spreadsheet creates in the business?
Right. So Google Sheets and Excel are great spreadsheet tools, and they are ubiquitous. They are, they are used by pretty much every business, every professional in the world. And these tools are great tools for uh, analyzing things and for doing some computational kind of things. But a lot of the times, when a business starts, when a business is nascent, team starts using spreadsheets as a way of tracking the business workflow. And this is this is what happens by default, because these tools are available to them. They try to use it to track and manage their business workflow. But as the team expands, they start facing challenges. So, for example, one of the biggest limitations of spreadsheets tools like Google Sheets and Excel is that they don't have controls in place. So, for example, let's say you have a certain business workflow where a meeting can be scheduled only after a call, and the software is supposed to track that and control that. But a Google Sheet is not able to do that, because a Google Sheet, any kind of data can be changed. Then there are further limitations, like we can't attach documents, images or documents easily to these sheets, and that makes organizing the data related to the business workflow harder. Then there are other challenges. For example, it's hard to maintain consistency of the data. Let's take an example of a phone number. There are different people in the team who might enter the phone number in different ways. Somebody might enter with a country code, somebody might enter without a country code, somebody might use dots in the phone number, somebody might use dashes, somebody might use spaces. Now the challenge is that because of all these different formats for the phone number, it makes reporting much harder, right? Then these spreadsheets can't even check for the whether the phone number is valid. So these are all the limitations of spreadsheets. And then there are more even more limitations, like reporting. What happens with when using spreadsheets is that every person in the team will have their own instance of the sheet, and every team will have their own set of spreadsheets. To create consolidated reports out of all these different sheets is almost impossible and takes several hours of wasted effort.
I am sure now whosoever is watching, specifically SMB business owners, are struggling with these kind of problems. And if they are using Google Sheets, then they can really relate to this particular challenge that they are facing.